It's great when you know you're about to film a video that you're about to get loads of hate for. Hello everybody! I just wanted to point out before I start rambling on that yes, I am a fan of One Direction. I have been there from the beginning when they did the X Factor back in 2010. I cried when they came third, and then their first single came out, and it all just sort of went a bit weird. I've just eaten, hence why I keep doing this. Anyway, so I just kind of wanted to do a video that it's kind of controversial. A lot of people probably have spoken about it. I've seen a lot of it on Tumblr, and I kind of just want to get my opinion out and what I've thought about it all. And yeah, if you agree, you can always comment. If you don't, comment too. I don't mind. I love your opinion too. So this is a One Direction versus Zayn Malik video. So I kind of just wanted to talk about the whole thing, about my experience as being a fan, my experiences of being a fan, and then when Zayn left, and kind of the aftermath, and how I kind of process the whole thing and feel, I guess. So as I said, I was a fan back in 2010. I cried when they came third. I can remember the exact moment, as weirdly as that sounds. I can remember where I was when One Direction came third on the X Factor. I was in the bath and my mum like rushed in and she was like, "Brogan, they've announced it. They've come third." And I was like, "What?" There's like, "One Direction have come third." And I was like, "What?" And I climbed out the bath, got a towel, rushed into the living room, and literally my eyes just welled up with tears. My mum was like, "Are you crying?" I was like, "They were so good." I was 15 at the time, I'd like to point out. I feel like that still doesn't help. But yeah, anyway. So then they kind of disappeared for a year. Everyone didn't know what was happening to them. And then I can remember I was driving with my mum somewhere, and there was like, "Oh, this is One Direction's debut single," and all that jazz when they played the first single. And I was like, this isn't bad, you know, What Makes You Beautiful? We all know it. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. All that. So I was like, this is alright. And then I think it was, I'm going to get so much hate for this. I can't remember what the next single was because I wasn't a fan then. But I think it was either Gotta Be You. It had to, no. I'm going to look this up. Fake fan, you can all call me it, it's fine. One Direction singles. Okay. Great, this is great when it's in order. In order. Can I do that? Ba, 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 ba. Get your swag on. Wow. I think it was either Got to Be You, and if it was Gotta Be You, I'm pretty sure it was. I'm seeing them, yeah it was. Yes it was. It was Gotta Be You. So then that one came out and I was like, it's not really my kind of music, because I moved on from like poppy songs then, and I was more into Secondhand Serenade. I was into kind of like Mayday Parade and all that kind of stuff. I kind of like went from like really girly to really like tomboy in that year. So I kind of just went off of them, and I didn't really listen to them. I didn't buy any albums. I was very disappointed that I didn't buy the albums when they came out, because they were, I love them now. So I have them all now. But then I think when it was, I think I liked Little Things when that came out. Little Things is a classic. It's a heartbreaking one. And then in my head I want to say it was Midnight Memories when I kind of started listening to them more regularly. Like if it was on the radio, I'd kind of sing along because I knew the words. And that's kind of how it started. So that was 2013. Real fun here. 2013 Midnight Memories came out. If you didn't know that, I did. So yeah, I kind of followed them. I remember, oh my god, I can't speak English today. Why can I not speak? So 2013 Midnight Memories came out, and that's when I started listening to the band more. I'd listen to them and I wouldn't turn it off on the radio, blah 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 blah. And I know that I followed a lot of the articles that just happened to have One Direction in. Like I used to read a lot of the Daily Mail. I know if you're in the fandom now, don't do that. And OK Magazine, and just gossip magazines, in like gossip websites in general. That was kind of my thing. I'd go to at the end of 2014 and beginning of 2015. I can remember looking on gossip websites and kind of just like always opening them links up, but then like not kind of registering in my head, aren't you not meant to be a fan? Like I never sat and slated them, even when I wasn't into that kind of genre. I just kind of dealt with them, like they were always there, but I never kind of admitted that I was a fan. So I can't say that I've ever been in the fandom since 2010, because I haven't. I think I've properly joined a year ago this month. I think it was like June 21st. I don't know why that number is coming to my head, but anyway. So then that kind of happened. Like Best Song Ever was like a song that I was always singing. Like Best Song Ever was great, and then, you know, all the other singles that came out, fake fan again, I don't know them all by heart, because I know all the songs, because I actually listened to Midnight Memories for a really long time. So then obviously 4 came out, and that's when I joined the fandom last year, and that was the only album that was recently out, and I was obsessed with it, absolutely obsessed with it, and I just loved it. And I don't know what it was that got me back into the fandom, but I just kind of got there because I was looking up pictures, and then I was just like, I'm gonna have to create a blog, and then that is how my Tumblr came about. Anyway, back onto the topic, which is the title. As I joined the fandom, Zayn had left. So as I became a proper fan, Zayn wasn't in the band. So I've never sort of experienced what other people are experiencing, because I can only remember him when it was 2010 and he was on the X Factor and they were all being joined as a group. So I kind of remember it then, but I wasn't really there for the experience of the whole of him leaving. And I find that so shady, because I remember reading gossip magazines and gossip websites, and they were saying at the end of 2014 that it was rumoured that he was going to be leaving the band, and everyone was like, no, and I can remember him being like, no, I'm here to stay, you know, you're not getting rid of me that easy. And then I think that was about October, November, and then a couple of months later, I know I'm about to get a lot of hate from how I've just put that. So, March 25th, 2015, so many hearts were broken because Zayn Malik left One Direction. I remember reading this and being like, I don't know. I didn't like how it was done. It was an official statement, which is how anything gets announced these days. And I was just kind of like, right, so, and I didn't really have an opinion, and I think it's because I wasn't really a fan. So I wasn't like really enthralled like I am now. So like I'm in the fandom, anything that happens I have to know, and if I don't, I'll cry. So it's kind of like I felt sympathetic, but at the same time I was kind of like, okay, so a boy band members left, that's happened before, take that and all that. Yeah, that all happened, and I think what really irks me about this, the fact that Zayn left the band, is that in his statement he claimed he wanted to be a regular guy. How old is he? Like 23 or something? I don't know how old he is. He's like 23, 22, 23, 24, 22. I want to say 22. Anyway, so he's early 20s and he wants to be a regular guy. He doesn't realise that breaking this news, paparazzis are going to want to be following him. They're going to want to ask him questions. They're going to want the inside scoop in the magazines, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, okay, for the first few months, he wouldn't have had the normal life. That's it. And then July, I think it was like beginning of July, I remember opening up, again, a gossip website, and it's saying Zayn has signed a solo. And I was like, what happened in that from March to July? Where he was like, I want to be a normal guy, I want to have a normal job, I want to do this, this and this. And then all of a sudden, he's being signed for a solo artist. That is what irks me, is that I want to be a normal guy. I don't want any paparazzis around me. I just want to do this, this and this. I just want to be normal. And then he signs as a solo career. So being in a band wasn't good enough for him, but solo is fine. I don't understand where it went from, I want to leave the band because I want a normal life, I want to do things my way, blah, 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 to 4 months later, him going, hi, I'm going to create my own music instead because you know, that's how I want to do it now. I don't want to be normal anymore. I just kind of want to be a pop star by myself. I don't get it. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of Zayn fans that are going to come lashing at me if they see this, being like, you don't understand, he wanted this, this and this, and One Direction didn't give him this, this and this. I have seen so many things in interviews recently when his album was, like when he was promoing for his album, and he said that the One Direction management wouldn't let him bleach his hair. Have you met Niall Horan? He is a natural brunette and he dyes it blonde. Zayn went from black-haired to blonde-haired. I feel like they wouldn't have cared. I feel like he was making excuses to why he didn't like the management. I have a list, but like he was making excuses of what he wasn't allowed to do. He said that they weren't allowed to write their own songs or something like that, but yet from mainly Midnight Memories to 4, so the last 2 albums, I guess as well, yeah, the last 2 albums, they pretty much wrote the whole album. So where has he not got his right? Or did they not like any of his songs that he created? Or did they not accept them because they thought they were too dance vibe? I don't understand, because he's saying that they weren't allowed to write their own music, and they weren't allowed to bleach their hair, which 2 things are wrong, and he wasn't allowed to grow a beard. He had a beard when he was in One Direction. Louis has a constant beard because, you know, he's into that kind of thing. Where is all the... He was making so many excuses in the promo that I can just remember just rolling my eyes like, this is a lie. Like, he was allowed to do this, this and this, but he obviously didn't want to because he wanted to do it a certain way. And I kind of don't get it, and I think that's just me, but... Another thing I don't like about this whole One Direction versus Zayn Malik is he said that the boys haven't been in contact. Which, me being a One Direction fan, because I'm not the biggest Zayn fan, and I'll explain soon why, he was like, oh, they're not reaching out to me, but you're not reaching out to them. But at the same time, I was saying that, and then he was slating the band and their new music and their new album, and said that Drag Me Down was pretty cool, but Perfect was a bit... You was part of that. I mean, I know that might not have been the music that he wanted to do, but at the end of the day, it's part of who you are. Why are you slating the band that made you who you are and got you to where you are now? Like, people, if you want to disagree with me, that is fine. But if it wasn't for One Direction, if it wasn't for the X Factor, if it wasn't for Simon creating that group, he would be nothing. He wouldn't even be a solo artist. He would literally be still in Bradford doing nothing, because he didn't make it as a solo artist back on the X Factor. And I know that he wanted to be something big. I get that. That is why he joined the band. But if he was really, really dead set about wanting to be a solo artist and didn't want to be in One Direction, why bother? Why bother putting yourself, like, 4 or 5 years through it if you didn't want to be a part of it? I do not understand it. I honestly don't. Like, don't put yourself through something that you're not going to like if you're going to slate it when you leave. Do you get what I mean? Like, am I making any sense? I don't feel like I'm making sense, but in my head it all makes sense, but it's a little bit jumbled now. So that's kind of my take of it so far. I'm not really a fan of Zayn just because of all the slating that he's doing, but I feel like he's saying that the boys aren't reaching out to him. But if I found out that I was being slated and my band was being slated that I'm still a part of, I wouldn't want to be talking to him either, because it's kind of rude and it's kind of disrespectful, because they are, you know, supposed to be 4 of your best friends and you're slating them. Another reason why I'm not a Zayn fan, I like how this went from One Direction versus Zayn to I'm not a Zayn fan, but the only reason why I'm not a Zayn fan is because it's a really stupid reason. I'm going to admit that now. It's a stupid reason why I'm not a fan. I don't like how his album titles are, his song titles on his album. Like the lowercase and the big capitals and the lowercase and the capital, that is like, I'm a grammar freak and that is like a headache to me. And also, which I keep saying and everyone just keeps thinking I'm weird, I feel like I Would should have been his first single. The first line of the song is, hey, what's up, it's been a while. I feel like it's like a joke. Like, he's like, oh yeah, I left One Direction, but hey, what's up? It's been a while. This is what I'm doing. And then I feel like Pillow Talk's gonna come second. I do like Pillow Talk. It's not that I don't like him. I just don't like how he's acting, and I only like Pillow Talk. I don't like any of the other songs that have come out. And before anyone says, yeah, we even heard them, I listen to Radio 1. They play him a lot, okay? I listen to it in the morning. I don't turn it off like I do with Bieber. I listen to it. I don't like it, okay? I don't like that kind of music, whatever that kind of music is, because I don't know what it is. Let me know. I love One Direction, okay? You gotta help me. I'm losing my mind. What I also don't like about Zayn leaving and then talking, I guess you could say talking bad about the band, is that I think, in my opinion, 90% of his fan base are One Direction fans. Don't slate where you came from, because your fans aren't going to like it. And they're going to stick with you thick and thin, but they're also sticking with your band members, your ex-band members, thick and thin as well. I think that's what people don't get, is that he's slating One Direction, what they are, what they've become, and their new album, while he's promoting his own. But yet, most of his entire fan base followed him from One Direction, where they were a fan, and went to his solo career, like, oh yeah, he's doing great, he's still fine, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but he's slating the place he came from. I feel like that's disrespect, and I feel like I lost of respect for Zayn because he was very disrespectful to his ex-bandmates. They were also his best friends, that he also called his brothers for a really long time, and I just feel like that was not nice. I feel like it was very mean, and I didn't like it at all. So that's kind of all I had to say, really. My opinion is I am a One Direction fan. I have been since technically 2010, but then I sort of went off the radar for a bit and then came back. And then I came after Zayn left the band, and I remember seeing a lot of things on my Twitter feed, and I think that was it, because I don't really think I followed anyone that was a One Direction fan back in the day on anywhere else. And it just went, everyone into meltdown that day. And I was just like, what's happening? What is happening? And then I found out a boy band member had left, and I was like, oh, okay. But I remember my mum asking, oh no, it wasn't my mum. I went to a One Direction concert in October, and I had a tour t-shirt. And my mum's boyfriend was like, where's Zayn? I was like, he left in March. Do you not remember that? There's 4 of them now. He was like, what, they changed their entire merchandise? I'm like, well, they have to. There's only 4 of them now. You can't have band merchandise for someone that isn't part of the band anymore. Like, they have a part 2 tour, so they've got part 2 merchandise where there's just 4 of them. So I just kind of feel like how Zayn's gone about this is very bad and I feel like how he left the band was shady as hell, because they were seeding him leaving for ages, and then he was ill a lot of the shows. I feel like they were trying to get the fans used to not having Zayn around, that's why he went to like barely any concerts for the On the Road Again tour. And I feel like the management was like planning his exit so the fans get used to it. And I just kind of feel like he then left, and I just find it was really shady. I remember reading into this and I was like, this is really weird. So that's kind of all I've got to really say. I feel like I have more, but I'm running out of time. So if you have any opinions, leave it below in the comments. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye. If you like causing trouble up in hotel rooms, and if you like having secret little rendezvous, if you like to do the things you know that we shouldn't do, baby, I'm perfect. Baby, I'm perfect for you.